Okay, favorite meal. This is gonna be hard. We're gonna have to like break this down.
This is like the hardest question. I don't know. Like everything she makes is freaking good.
Breakfast is gonna be pancakes.
Salad and potatoes.
For lunch, probably the El Dorado sandwich.
The hamburger she makes in the summertime. Thanksgiving dinner.
For dinner, we might have to go into like themes. So Mexican would be enchiladas.
Stacked enchiladas.
Mamacitas stacked enchiladas. My mouth is watering now.
Green smothered enchiladas. Chicken enchiladas with the chili green sauce and the homemade beans and the homemade salsa.
Her chicken broccoli alfredo, her wheat pancakes, and her stacked enchiladas.
The food that she made today. Potatoes.
Summertime food, barbecue chicken, baked potatoes, salad with ranch, or the teriyaki pork chops.
Cheese and sandwich.
Es el chicken, el pollo y gravy. It's the best. I love it.
I really like the chicken in gravy that you'd make, and you'd have the cooked onions on top. It's a good one.
American would have to be the chicken and gravy with potatoes. The list could go on and on, but she's an amazing cook.
She's very nurturing and very loving and always thinking of everybody else before herself.
Her heart. She just has a tender heart. It doesn't matter what it's for, whether it's Milo or a baby or me, her heart is very tender.
You're hungry for getting kisses.
She's just selfless and she's so sweet and kind.
La calidad mejor de todos. Es la cita. Es cariñosa. Es amable. Y ama a todas las personas. Sabe mucho. Y comprende los demás.
She's always there. Like, if I ever need a ride or anything, she's always there.
You are one of the most Christ-like people that I know, and you're the type of person that I feel like I can be myself around, and I always feel comfortable, and we can talk about everything and anything for hours.
One of my favorite qualities about my mom is her ability to be happy constantly, and that overflows into her serving other people. And she does it so well, and she does it with such a happy heart. And you never feel like you are a burden to her, or that she would rather be somewhere else. But I'm grateful for her happy disposition.
Babies like people in Jesus, or the kids of Jesus in family.
So selfless, and whenever you have a bad day, she will like always bring you up, like whether it's texting or calling.
When I think of attributes of my mom, I think that she's extremely patient and caring. I remember one time I just called her when I was taking the train down to Provo from Bountiful and started talking to her, and then ended up being a long conversation, but we talked for like an hour and a half all the way down to Provo. And it just shows that she's caring and patient to talk, and she's always willing to talk and listen to what you want to say and your concerns.
Charitable. Pure love of Christ, right? She serves others endlessly, even when she's tired or fatigued.
She makes me want to be a better person.
Mom is perfectly patient with everyone and kind with every single person.
Is it me? She's kind. And she gives hugs.
I have a few. I can't just say one. So the first one that comes to mind is when I was a little boy, I used to get these terrible leg cramps. They would keep me up and I'd be crying, and my mom would come in and she would rub my calves until I fell asleep and help the pain go away. And now being a parent, seeing how tired I am, I just think it was even that much more cool that she would go in there and take the pain away. Another fun memory was, what other kid can say that his mom went teepeeing with him? I can.
When we went to the Christmas concert, we were going to go as a group of girls. You asked whoever wants to go, and it ended up just being you and I, and we got really good seats at the last minute and ended up loving it. And then later you said, do you want to go get a treat? And so we went to the garden and had dinner and a treat, and it was way fun.
15 years ago, when we lived in the Yellow House, we were out in the back. It was me, Andy, and a bunch of friends, and we were doing a home run derby with a tennis ball and a bat. And to get the home run, you had to hit it over our fence in the neighbor's yard. Most of us had gone already, and my mom came out and was like, what are you guys doing? And we told her, and we pretty much challenged her to the home run derby. Well, 7 pitches into it, she was winning, and she won the home run derby and put us all to shame. But mostly, in front of our friends, we were proud of her, and it was awesome.
When it's late at night and it's just us, and I talk in my voice and she just like laughs forever. It's so fun.
Probably a couple of Christmases ago, when like everything was over, and like I was bummed out because I was asking for a phone, like that was the one thing I wanted, and like I was over in the kitchen like throwing something away, and like hear this phone ringing, and I just like look at my mom, and she just like starts laughing, and like I was so stoked. It was awesome.
I loved the candy posters on my birthdays. I loved the letters weekly. On my mission, she was the anchor. And then, sorry about that, it's kind of expected with me. And then getting married. She's just been a great mom to give advice when she sees I might need it to help me be a better father and husband and person.
Go grocery shopping, skip with her in the store.
A memory of Mom was when I was in high school. Brian and I were both in high school, and one night we just decided to go to a 12 o'clock showing of a movie. I think it was King Kong at Gateway. And so we convinced my mom to go, and we took her in the car and went and watched the movie. And then the next night we thought it was a good idea to go do it again, but go to a different movie. So we went to a second movie. And then the next night we decided to do it again. And every time she's just happy, ready to go with the boys to go see a movie at 12 o'clock on a school night, 3 nights in a row. And it's a good memory.
You gave me the gift of lunch. And we went to places, holes in the wall, crappers places, and places that were really, really good. But just the other day, we were going down the street, and I saw a place that we did not like. And I told my wife, I said, hey, I've eaten there, but it was not good. So I treasure the memories of lunches that we had when you gave me the gift of lunches.
Play games and cards.
Brian and I were engaged. Every Sunday she would sit with us and get out a little checklist and show us what we needed to get done that week, and she would help us kind of get our priorities together and figure out what we needed to get done to get married on time and not be so stressed out. And she's just taught me about being organized and planning.
It was when she was able to come to Oklahoma and be my mission companion for a week. It was a special experience to be able to do that with her. And the second one was just more recent. She was able to come in for the delivery and birth for Taft.
Playing games.
When my mom was diagnosed with cancer, I remember she was, besides Brian, the first person that I told, and she just came up to me and hugged me, and I started crying, and she started crying, and she said, "It's okay," and she just always made me feel like she was there for me, and like she was just my mom, and she took care of me during that time when I was away from my family.
When we lived here, it was when I was pregnant with Ethan, and I got so sick, probably like the sickest I've ever been in my whole life. I was sick for like 2 weeks, and she pretty much replaced my mom. She was so great. She was always there to make sure that I had everything that I needed, and she made me soup and crackers and cream of wheat and was just always there if I needed anything, and I really am very grateful for that, because I know when you're sick, I always kind of wanted my mom, and she kind of was my mom with that little bit. So
I went to Lake Powell with the family in 2007, and we had just graduated from high school, and Andy was going on a mission, and I was going away to school, and I remember on the way back it kind of set in. Fitness test, school, living away from family, Andy leaving, and we were at Denny's, may or may not have been a Sunday, and I remember becoming so overwhelmed with all of these things that I just went to the bathroom, and I needed comfort at that time, and over walks Dee Dee, and she gives me a big hug and holds me for a long time and just tells me that everything's okay and that I'm wonderful and that everything's going to be okay, and that's exactly what I needed at that moment, and I love that memory.
It's our trip back to the church sites back east, where we traveled 2,000 miles in the car and visited all the church sites. The greatest time we've had together.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Everything you do, it sends me higher than the moon. With every twinkle in your eye, you strike a match that lights my heart on fire. When you're near, I hide my blushing face and trip on my shoelaces. Grace just isn't my forte, but it brings me to my knees when you say hello. How are you, my darling? Today I fall into a pile on the floor. Puppy love is hard to ignore. When every little thing you do, I do adore. We're as different as can be. I've noticed you're remarkably relaxed and I'm overly uptight. We balance out each other nicely. You wear sandals in the snow in mid-July. I still feel cold. We're opposites in every way, but I can't resist it when you say hello. How are you, my darling? Today I fall into a pile on the floor. Puppy love is hard to ignore. When every little thing you do, I do adore. Finding words I mutter, tongue-tied, twisted, foot in mouth, I start to stutter. Heaven help me, hello. How are you, my darling? Today I fall into a pile on the floor. Puppy love is hard to ignore. When every little thing you do, I do adore. Every little thing, ba 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 ba. Every little thing, ba 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 ba. Every little thing you do, I do adore.
I love you. Merry Christmas.
Love you, Mom. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Love you, me.
I love you, Mom. Merry Christmas.
Love you, baby. Merry Christmas.
I love you. Merry Christmas.
You, Merry Christmas.
I love you, Mom. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Mom. I love you.
Merry Christmas, I love you.
I love you, Mom. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, I love you.
I love you. Merry Christmas, Mimi.
I love you, my jewel, and Merry Christmas,